Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. My name is Cyndy. Thank you so much for being here. I thought today, I'm going to be seeing this on February 10th. So I thought today I would like to do another one of those sort of what is it Spirit wants us to know, particularly in view of the State of the Union address that Biden did. It was extremely well done. You could almost sort of see Kevin McCarthy's face, realizing that he had been completely outmaneuvered by a master. And I, frankly, personally, I really enjoyed that. So let's see what the universe has to say. I'm going to specifically ask about Kevin McCarthy. And I want see what else they have to say to us about Joe Biden, or as the world is moving forward on our trajectory. So here we go. Again, thank you so very, very, very much for being here. I so appreciate it. You have no idea. And it just fills me sort of with a sense of awe that not only do I have followers, but I have amazing followers. I have the most incredible viewers and the most amazing subscribers, and I'm always so very, very thankful for that. Just as a quick aside, if anybody's looking for a personal reading, in the drop box below, there is an email address, and you can feel free to send me an email to soulprint888@gmail.com, and I will send you out the information. I'm currently booking kind of the middle of March. Okay, so here we go, Spirit. What insights or guidance or clarity would you like to share with us at this time? So, whatever Kevin McCarthy says publicly, he very much views the State of the Union address a public spanking at the hands of Joe Biden. He he has been so wrapped up in his own little fantasy of Speaker of the House and whatever, that he's really lost sight of the fact that in Joe Biden, part of the reason that Joe Biden think he was sort of the man for the moment, okay, is because he had this treasure trove of experience. And McCarthy just, there's no way he's ever going to measure up. I mean, in part because in terms of if no one can figure out if McCarthy actually has any moral compass, if he actually has any like beliefs that go into creating, whether it is a platform, or he just seems to float like a leaf in the wind. Whatever way the wind's blowing, that's which way he's going to go. So somewhere along the way, he sort of lost sight of the track that Joe Biden is incredibly talented at what he does. That's why he was the man for this moment, because you needed somebody who had all of that vast experience to try to bring the country back together. And what's so fascinating is that he has done so much under very, very difficult circumstances, and it's still not being acknowledged. It's still not being recognized by most of the country. But I am being reassured that by the time we get into summer and fall, you're going to see his approval ratings really, really start to increase in a significant way, because there will be an awareness that, oh, wait a minute, this thing that's going on in my community, oh, that's because of that thing that got passed, or et cetera, et cetera. So you're going to see a shift summer into the fall. There's going to be a real upward swing of um, his approval rating. So that is a good thing. Kevin McCarthy is going to continue thinking he's going to continue to struggle because he's like the tower card, okay? He has no foundation under him. And then you can't be surprised when the foundation cracks and crumbles, and you're sitting on your butt on the floor somewhere. Um And so he's going to have a very difficult ride as Speaker of the House. And it was, I personally, as I was watching the State of the Union address, I had most of my attention focused on Kevin McCarthy. And you could just see I mean, aside from the whole nonsense that was going on, trying to get the Marjorie Taylor Greens to shut the hell up and show at least a modicum of decorum for the house in which they were sitting. But, I mean, that's like, you know, not going to happen. Okay. She doesn't have any decorum to draw from. But you could see his face being sort of like, it was like as if he had like an agenda. Okay. And as Biden went through his speech, you could just see McCarthy kind of striking that off and go, yep, it's not going to work. Can't do that one. Oh, no, no, I'm not going to be able to make that happen. It was as if you could just see sort of never mind his hold on the Republican Party because he doesn't have one, but just his own ability to figure out how to step forward. It just was lost on him. So anticipate a lot of bravado. I'm recording this a little bit early, so I'm sure there's been a fair bit of bravado so far this week about, yada yada. But the reality is that he's not in good shape. He's not going to be in good shape, and he's never going to be able to retain that that position and that status. Okay, where else would you like to show us what's going on, please, Spirit? Okay. For some reason, I'm being taken back to Russia. Um, okay. It looks like there is going to be sort of one more kind of big um, event on Ukrainian soil that is going to be heartbreaking and destructive. So it feels very much like he's going to go after another civilian kind of focused area. But they're showing me that really is like the last hurrah. And shortly after that, you're going to see a real crumbling of Putin's power and the control that Russia has within the Ukraine as Zelensky and Ukraine continue to get, the tanks and the fighter jets or whatever it is that they've been asking for, as those things continue to arrive from the US and from Canada and from Germany and England, I'm not sure. But as I said, so you're going to see the Ukrainians strengthening and powering up literally as you see at the same time Russia really, really losing power and strength. And so that is a good thing. I have long said that I expect that this war would be over kind of in the 12-month range, 13 months, that kind of thing. So definitely looks like, I think it started on February 24th, if I'm not mistaken. So we're getting there, right? We're getting closer and closer. And we'll see if they can actually bring this thing sort of to a bit of an end. Atlas, stop it. Sorry, dog. Okay. Where else? Somebody asked me a question in my comment section. They wanted to know if Puerto Rico would ever become like a state of the United States, like a legitimate one, right, with voting and et cetera, whatever they don't have now. And so I'm just going to ask Spirit to answer that question as opposed to a yes, no. What is the status and what will be the status, please, of Puerto Rico? Yeah, okay. So what they're saying is before the decade is done, and I know it's like 2023, so you've got 7 years, but it feels as if somewhere mid, like I want to say 2025, 26, 27, maybe, that's where you're going to see a significant shift taking place with Puerto Rico and how it's treated and what benefits it has being connected to the United States, because certainly at this point, I am not sure that I can recognize any benefits that they've got, but be that as it may. Um, and they're also telling me that there's going to be not with this administration, not with this time frame, but in the next cycle, when there is once again going to be a Democratic White House, Senate, and House. So they're going to have three branches again. That is where you can anticipate some significant work being done on, they're saying, on voter rights, on adjusting the electoral college. And that is where you're also going to see a big movement towards reversing some of the more ridiculous and draconian um, laws and whatever that's going on in those really red states. So there's that. That's good news. That's something to look forward to. Spirit, what else do we have? There's going to be a sort of a road trip going on. The way I understand it is Kamala Harris is going to be traveling around. A lot of secretaries of, I think, are also going to be out there actually starting to really promote and expand and clarify all of the amazing things that the Biden administration has done so far that really hasn't been acknowledged. And in part of it is because in some areas the benefits are not being seen yet, as Biden said, right? But come spring, when the shovels go into the ground, that's where you're going to really, you know, people are going to start recognizing exactly what has been done with that administration and what has been done in a bipartisan way and what was done in a partisan way. And people aren't stupid. They're going to be able to look and say, well, if they could get together and do this, then why are they fighting and arguing about this? Um, and the road tripping that's going on is going to actually be very helpful, because it feels as if this is sort of part of what has happened is once, the former guy kind of packed his bags and a bunch of secret documents and left town. um, a lot of people just sort of were like, thank you, God, it's over. And they disconnected, in part because honestly, you had to have a lot of stamina to get through the last 5, 6, 7 years, and kind of like not lose your mind. Um, and so, but what's happened is you have people who were paying attention who just simply are not. The pressure was released. They were, I guess, pleased that the crazy man wasn't running the circus anymore. But so what this is going to do, these sort of road trips and that kind of thing, it's going to really bring to the fore, for a lot of people, exactly what has been accomplished under this administration. So that is very good news. And it looks like those sort of visits are going to be very well accepted, and very well. It looks like the media is going to be very good, particularly in local areas, of really promoting the benefits or the things that are coming, and et cetera. So that's also really good news. Um, what else do you have to say, Spirit? What else is there? Sorry, I don't mean to go radio silent on you. They keep taking me to Australia, but I can't hear the message of what it is they want me um, to say about it. It feels as if it feels almost as if spirit is just reassuring that whatever upheavals are going on there, um, things are going to level themselves out. I know that they have recently had their prime minister, I guess, step down or say she's stepping down. Um, but it feels as if the um, that shift in government somehow they're saying it's not going to be as bad as people think it's going to be. Sorry, I can't get any more detail than that right now. I don't know if you saw it. It was maybe on one of the Midas Touch channels, one of their videos. I'm not sure, but anyways, there were two videos. There was the video, side by side, and the video of Mike Lee, Republican Mike Lee, standing at a town hall or some sort of a community meeting and saying, to make no mistake, his absolute agenda was to eliminate Social Security. There was just no need for it. And he was going on record as saying that is what he was intending to do and accomplish. And then the side by side video was his reaction as Joe Biden basically was calling out Republicans, including that what Tom Smith? No, that's not him. Anyways, I don't know the guy who was in charge of making sure a whole bunch of House Republicans got voted in and didn't. Um, but he was during the speech. He was just this outrage, like, my goodness, wait, he can't be saying that. That's not true. It was actually pretty funny to watch. But what you're going to see is more and more of that coming up. Is sort of their point. You're going to start getting a lot of these like side by side comparisons, right? You recently there was one with Matt Gates saying, I think it was on R in Melbourne, that he categorically denies he ever asked for any sort of a pardon at all. And then everybody has heard. And the testimony saying he absolutely did. He was a group of people that that did ask for Trump asked Trump for a pardon. So there's going to be a lot more of that kind of stuff going on. It feels as if as we progress through this year, what you're going to see is towards a real trend towards um, exposure. Okay, so a lot of kind of what's going on is like, yeah, they say that we all roll our eyes. We say we know that's not true. That's just ridiculous, and you move on. It feels very much like one of the things that the media is going to start doing is showing these little side by side comparisons, and those lies, because they're not even untruths, they're flat out bold faced lies are going to start getting kind of spotlighted or focused on, and the degree to which the Republican Party, in particular, at this point in time, has mastered that sort of. Um, no, if I said the sky was orange yesterday and today I'm telling you it's purple, I never said the sky was orange yesterday. That kind of sort of like trying to alter reality, a lot of that is going to start getting called into question. So don't be surprised if you start seeing some of these sort of side by side videos. I don't know whether it's going to be on mainstream media, it's going to be more on YouTube and some of the newsy type platforms on YouTube or other social media, but they're going to be out there. Any final messages, please? Make no mistake that there there's stuff that needs to be fixed. It's global, but right now they're specifically talking about the United States. But they're saying, try to remember that it's not as bad as it seems. It's not as scary as it seems. It's not as destructive as it seems. What you are witnessing is the sort of the tearing down of ideas, philosophies, etc., that simply no longer have a valid place in society today. And you're going to see those things get addressed and shifted and changed and modified so there is a better reflection of literally kind of what the people of the country, who they are, and what they want. So that is it's very reassuring. They're saying, this is the Republicans can talk all they want, but the reality is Mitch McConnell is going to be more with the Biden administration than he even probably wants to be because he needs to distance himself from Kevin McCarthy in the House. And Kevin McCarthy, and particularly that group of younger politicians who are not seasoned, okay, um, there are going to be the older politicians who simply are running circles around them. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of Republicans in a lot of states who are not going to go along with, oh, let's just get rid of Medicare. Let's just get rid of, Social Security. They're not going to go along with that. And so what you have is some younger, youngins just making noise. All right. And that's all it is. Because by and large, they're not going to be able to get and accomplish and secure what they want. Okay. So they're going to make a lot of smoke. There's going to be a lot of noise. But ultimately, when it comes right down to it, um, the government will hold and it will shift what needs to be shifted and changed, but it will do so in a way that is not catastrophic or really frightening. Okay. So that's what Spirit wanted you to know today. Um, it's the weekend, so take some time, recharge, enjoy the sunshine if you have sunshine. Um, just, be kind to yourself this weekend. Like, really, just take a moment, step back, and just be kind. Okay? Until next time, take care. Be well. We'll see you really soon. Bye bye.